Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Breaking Through the Noise. I'm your host, Joaquin Loper, and I have my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful wife with me, Stacy Loper. Everybody give her a round of applause. Hey, I'm going to tell y'all something. I can't let the cat out the bag right now, but we have some information to tell you all. I'm so excited. I'm just, see this smile? I'm so proud of this girl. This my right here. But anyway, let's jump right into it. Welcome back. I want to say this. I want to say thank you to everyone that shown love and support for the podcast in this first couple weeks. Thank you. Definitely gives me energy and the fortitude to go forward with this thing. Yeah, do more work like this and have beautiful guests like my wife on and some men too. Hey, we had some questions from last week's from the first episode, and I really want to address them this week. So we're going to stick with talking about marriage and relationships and what we feel and what we've come to learn in our marriage are healthy things for a relationship. Going forward into a marriage, and even especially prior to getting married, will lessen the blows once marriage and its struggles come about. Hey, baby, how you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. I cannot complain. I won't complain.
You better not, girl. You're looking good. As always, ladies and gentlemen, when I do have the opportunity, I'm definitely going to wear a shirt that makes you smile or say some things. And this is definitely true to itself. If you're a parent out there, we lie to our kids at one point.
Yes, babe.
You've ever told this lie to our kids?
Have we ever told that lie to our kids? I'm not sure. I don't know if we've ever been in a situations where we've had to tell them we don't lick people. Oh, he used to lick on his sister's face all the time, but he used to lick on his sister's face because he saw you licking on my face. So it was never we don't lick people.
That's true.
So.
Yeah. You put it like that, that is true. That's where you got it from. And the men, if you're not licking on your wife's face, do so.
Don't.
Show her love. She knows she like it.
No, I do not.
All right. So look here. One of the questions that was posed last week, or one of the statements that was posed last week as they were discussing the podcast, was I made a statement in the podcast about what? I was saying that if I knew now what I knew then, I wouldn't marry you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not true. That's not true. Yeah.
So, no, and I think so when I hear that, when I hear what I know, if I would have known now what I knew then, would I have married you? You answered that question. You wouldn't have married me then, knowing that information.
Yeah, I would not have married you then. I still love you and wanted to marry you, but there were some things you had to get right.
Okay, but then it's like, so if you knew that Stacy then, now would you marry me? If you knew that that's who the Stacy was then,
we'd have to go through a little bit more.
Okay. You probably wouldn't have married me 5 years after any of that, despite getting it right and despite the change or any of that.
Did you get it right?
I'm still married to you, so obviously I did. I hope I did. Let me ask you that question. Have I gotten it right?
Yes, you have, baby. Yes, you have. Well, my thing.
Like I think some of your answers and some of the stuff that you say is like, does he even? I think if I am on the outside looking in, I look beyond the jokes and all of that, and I get into real talk with you about your marriage. Sometimes some of the things you say, I would personally be like, does he like her? Like,
yeah. But there's the thing. A lot of people aren't used to, especially a husband, being truthful, talking about how he felt about his wife. How I felt about my wife, not how I feel about her now. But in those moments, they don't have a lot of husbands that actually speak about how they felt in the moment about their wife. I didn't like you then. No.
Well, shit, I ain't like me. I mean, we on the same.
We on
the same page.
You're stupid. But there's the thing. It's not because I didn't love you. I didn't like the way you presented yourself instead of just being real with me. Give me the option. What I always tell people is give that person the option, the truth option to be with you or not. Don't lie to them. Just give me the choice.
Don't take that choice away from them. Understood.
Yes, give me the choice. Because I knew enough about you, Stacy, that I should have walked away. No, seriously. Because of what I haven't been through and my fears, I knew enough about you that I should have walked away. But I don't think real men or real individuals just walk away from things that challenge them because it's easy to walk away.
That's right, y'all. I challenged him.
Now
I hate that word.
Now she wants to challenge me.
Trust me, I don't.
Yeah.
It was never my intention to challenge you.
Yes, it was. Your intention is always to challenge somebody.
No, it was my intention to allow you to see you.
Yep. What are we talking about now? What are we talking about now? In the midst of you
I mean, just
Line.
period. Like you said, you couldn't walk away from me because I challenged you.
Mm,
That what you just said? Or did I get that wrong?
you got that wrong. You got that wrong.
Oh, okay.
I said the challenge of you. It wasn't that you challenged me. It was the challenge. The only reason I didn't walk away is because we were already married. Prior to marriage, all the things that we actually went through and talked about. Once again, it was we didn't even get into all that because we're here now, and I think a lot of people need to get to that point as well. If we're going to figure out things about people after we're married, hey, we're here now. Let's work through this. Because apparently I married a portion of you that I want to see. And brings you to a point. I heard a speech this week and the guy said we don't take vows. We don't take vows when we're at the altar to the person we're standing in front of. We take vows to the person that we're marrying that we don't know. And I thought that was powerful because it's good to see the outside of the person, what they've shown us, what he or she has shown us. But we take those vows to stick with the person that we don't know about, the things we don't know about that person. Because I took vows to love you and be with you under God, Lord of mercy. Needed it. And I know you needed it for me because I'm no easy person to deal with. And I know that.
Baby, you're very easy to deal with.
Anyway, back to the people.
It has been a walk in the park, honey. I just go to my friend Tommy and talk to him about everything.
Tell me who.
He'll figure it out.
I don't even know why I feel for that. Because you ignorant. Heel figure. Stupid. But let me ask you all this. In your marriage, ask yourself this. How deep did you realize your love went once you start seeing the ugly side of the other person? And when I say ugly, I'm not talking about just ugly. The things you just didn't know about that person. The things they weren't necessarily trying to hide, but just was a part of them that now has to be uncovered by marriage. The insecurities, the unforgiveness, all these things that we really don't experience when we're dating because everything is just in bliss. The impatience once we have kids. The inability to compromise. What are some more things?
What was the question? No, seriously, baby, what was the question? You were talking after that. The question
So
would have been long.
what are some of the things that show you that you love deeply because of the ugliness you see in other people or in your spouse? When I say ugliness, just the flaws in them.
I
Because
think
there are
you
flaws in us when it comes to marriage.
I think you kind of nailed it. You talked about the impatience, the unforgiveness, and the inability to work through the parenting aspect of it or things of that nature. Like you name those things. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of other things that come up in marriages that some people deal with and others don't.
What makes our marriage special to you?
What makes it special to you? What makes our marriage special to you?
This right here. Our ability to laugh about any and everything, but take it serious when we need to. Though I think that's what's special about us. The ability to be ourselves at all times.
I think what makes our marriage special is when it's time to dig in, the grit, the hard work, not just from a career standpoint, marriage, parents, balancing it all, how well we do that in communicating with each other. I think that's what makes our marriage special.
So yeah, couple that with what I just said, I agree. I agree. Yeah, and our ability to allow one another to challenge the other person. I'm sorry. To push the other person to be better in areas that they are not good at.
Right.
No, seriously, I saw that this week, especially during my birthday celebration. I got a little emotional because there are so many things that our kids will never have to experience because we did things differently than our parents. And
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly owe a majority of that to you because I didn't know how to not only receive love, I didn't know how to show love in a nurturing way. I just knew what I knew, and you helped me show love and see it from a different perspective from a parent's eye into my kids. So yeah,
You're welcome.
and I think you allow me to exemplify a level of toughness in our family that I don't think you would allow many people to do because you knew it was coming from a good place. It wasn't coming from a place of just being mean or didn't have any meaning to it.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in that. So I just grew up in it coming from a different side. It wasn't the male in my life that was very firm and stern and, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very hard, iron
Abrasive.
fist. It was the female standpoint on it. It wasn't the nurturing. I didn't get that from a female standpoint in my childhood.
Yeah. I didn't get it either. I think it was the female with the aggression on my part
Well, I think,
from my
but I
mom.
think you had two sides of it though, Joaquin. I think you had your grandmother who was nurturing. And it may not have been your mom that was the nurturing one, but you had a female in your life to be nurturing. So that softness, that femininity
Hmm.
was a part of your family. Okay. You had aunts that showed love. You had aunts that were stern when they needed to be, but you also had those females in your life who told you they loved you, poured into you, who told you different than what other people were telling you. I only had that coming from one side. And from the female in my life that I felt was supposed to nurture me, was supposed to build me. I didn't get that. I got that when from my stepdad and then from my father when I did move to New York with him. Like I
Yeah,
saw a softer side of them. I saw a softer side of them than I would ever have seen in my mom.
so you didn't get that from T.
Do you hear my TT talking right about? You know I didn't get that from.
I have a question for everyone watching right now, especially for the men. Now, women, y'all peep in, but I want y'all to answer this too. But for my men, how many of you all had to realize that you did not marry the women you grew up seeing?
I hope
Yeah,
y'all
I'm
knew
gonna tell
y'all
y'all
was
something.
married. Oh,
Hey,
y'all said I do.
hey, boy, I'm gonna tell you something. We had to come to Jesus meeting real quick in our marriage.
Real
I
quick.
don't know what I was thinking, but because this is what I was used to seeing women do, and my wife had never exemplified any of these traits. So for me to even have the audacity to ask her to do some of these things, when she told me, it clicked. I was like, "You're right." So I used to ask my wife, like doing like things like, "Hey, help me mow the yard. Do this. Hey, I'm finna go outside and change the oil. Come do this for me." My wife had to tell me real quick. What'd you tell me? Tell me what you told me.
I
You
shared
did.
with
You
my
did not marry.
I shared with my husband. I said, babe, and I don't think I said it this nice,
No, you did. No, you did. But go ahead.
but I'm
Yeah.
gonna say it nice, y'all. I said, baby, you did not marry your mama, your grandmama, or your aunties. And if that's what you wanted, that's what you should have married.
Boom.
That that is not me. Like, how you gonna ask me to go help you change the oil in a street dog show? He is not asking me to come out here and help him change the oil in the car. That is not gonna happen. And you have some women that are built for that. They
Yes.
were groomed
Yeah.
like that.
She was.
I was I was not his mama who was 13 years old and her daddy taught her how to jack that car up and change the whole transmission in it.
Yeah.
That ain't
Yeah.
me.
My mom taught me how to run a chainsaw. Change oil, change starters in the car, everything. And for whatever reason, I was like, "Yeah, we married now. My wife will go help me do these things."
No,
But I got it. And we didn't have that conversation anymore, did we?
never had that conversation again. And here's the thing, like, I'm a kept woman.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you ignorant. Yeah. I'm not even gonna say nothing. I'm not even gonna respond to that.
Listen, y'all, I wasn't even raised that way either. I was not raised to be kept. I was raised in survival mode. I knew how to survive. But there were things that life did teach me. Some things were transactional for me at some point in my life. So,
Moving on. Moving on. So I would love to hear your responses to that question, man. What are some of the things that you realized very quickly that your spouse, especially from the men, that your wife was I did not marry that. Now, not saying that your wife or your spouse does not maintain the qualities to do those things. As our marriage grew, my wife would come out there and help me mow the yard. I got sent on a couple tours in the military, and my wife, she made sure the yard was taken care of. I had people coming by to mow it, but she showed me her jacked up work a few times, and I was so proud of that work
I
because
was
she put
doing
forth the effort.
wheelies, circles in the backyard. I was like, hey, baby. He said, don't you ever get up again in my yard.
Grass everywhere, spots, patches everywhere. She was like, "How'd I do?" You did great,
I said, baby, you asked me to mow the yard. I did. I mowed the
and you did
backyard.
what you
I'm
did.
not going to do the front.
Yeah. And you did a good job, baby.
Thanks.
I can see I can see you getting better if you would have stuck with it, but no need to. So put those comments in the message board, y'all. But that's a serious question. Sometimes we marry people expecting them to be what we saw growing up, and that's just not the reality of the things we're attracted to.
Yeah, and
For
also,
some people, some people actually marry exactly what they grew up with, and like you
yeah,
said,
and they, but they see
that
that
works.
before they say I do. But they see that before they say I do.
Yeah,
So yeah, in that they know what they're marrying.
yeah. You didn't show no. Babe, when was the last time in 20 years? When was the last time you washed a vehicle?
Um, I don't know.
How many times have you taken the trash out in 20 years?
I can't remember.
And this is we have kids, so they have chores. How many times have you even got the car cleaned out?
Okay, so I think I asked the boys to clean out the car for me. So does that count as when I've gotten the car cleaned out?
Yeah, they count, baby.
Just a couple.
Couple. So so would you say that I've made your life easier as a wife on some aspects?
Absolutely.
Let me
Absolutely.
ask you this, baby. And
I
this
don't
ain't.
have, okay, go ahead.
No, you please go ahead.
I don't have to gas my car up. I don't, Joaquin has a couple days out of the week where he just takes my car, puts gas in it, whether I'm at work and he comes get my car or I'm at home on a Sunday and he takes my car to gas it up for the week. I mean, there are things that Joaquin has set up because of who he is that creates a pretty simple life for me.
Yeah. And this is we're not throwing things in people's face, so I don't want other wives or other husbands out there to say, "Well, why can't this be done for me?" This is something that you have to set up in your marriage to make sure it works for you at the right time, the right timing. But it's effort. It's effort into what we're setting up for the future, because one thing we cannot do and one thing we agreed not to do from the jump is make sure that our kids were not the focal point of our marriage. Are they in the front of our marriage on a tier? Yes, but we are the two that need to be the most linked and the most sought out there and took care of, because if we're not good, we're no good for the kids. And one
Right.
day those kids are going to be gone, and when they're gone and living their life, what do we have?
Yeah. So, what have I done to make your life simple? I'll wait. Joaquin, I think that I have
We should.
provided you a
I
great
think
life.
we should ask our son Maddox this question to the people.
No, we're not asking Maddox that.
Yeah, we need to ask Max this question. You know what? That's a good question, Jason. What have you done to make my life? Now that I think about it,
Joaquin, you got to come up with something.
you've allowed me to take care of you.
That's good.
You didn't
I
fight
have
back.
listen, I have allowed you to love me. I have received that love. I've made this house a home that is so peaceful.
Most
Like
definitely.
I get
No,
like
seriously,
that peace.
seriously,
Yeah.
seriously. If that's one thing that I will stand 10 toes down on, when we got our marriage on one accord and we start moving in the right direction, the peace that you've brought to this house, man, priceless,
Yeah.
priceless. I wouldn't take nothing for it, and I'm not letting anyone take that away from us.
Yeah.
For no, despite all the hell I may catch in this world and outside of this house, when I come home to peace, and I
Yeah.
love that.
And so I
And
think
that's peace. That's peace from the kids. That's peace from myself. You protect me from me on so many levels, and you give me a space to smile. So yes,
there you go.
that's a great point, because that is a great counter to everything I do for you. The fact that I come home to peace, I don't come home to no nagging, no bickering, no arguments. They say, "Man, thank you for that." I'm
My pleasure.
serious, in all seriousness.
No, and I'm serious too with saying my pleasure because Joaquin, I'm so intentional about that.
You are,
I
you
am
are,
so intentional about making sure I create peace for you first and foremost.
yeah. And most women don't. It's not that they don't want to do it; they probably don't know how to do it, and that's
Hmm.
be intentional about bringing peace to the house. Yeah, and that when I say bring peace, that's not letting me have my way. That is
Right.
respecting me for who I am
Yeah.
and the role I play in this marriage.
Yeah.
Treat me as your king and the king of this house.
And I mean, I think also, Joaquin, a lot of marriages aren't set up for success. A lot of couples don't set their marriage up for success. I think we have done a great job of setting our marriage up for success. And let me share with you guys like what that kind of looks like. So Joaquin and I, we communicate like really, really well. We communicate from the moment we get up to the time we go to bed. Okay. We do check ins throughout the day. When we get up in the morning, it's not I get up and I do my thing, I get ready and I go to work. No, how did you sleep last night? what do you need from me? How are you feeling right now? And that's all before 7:30 a.m.
Yeah.
before I walk out of the house going to
Yeah.
work. Okay. So there are like those are conversations that we're having. Sometimes it's like, babe, what do you need from me today? Is there anything on your agenda today that I need to take care of? Or, babe, I mean, and we're asking each other these questions. I don't pull out of my garage without Joaquin praying with me. Like I think we set our marriage up for success in those type of ways. And again, that intentionality, because we've seen it work in our marriage and we've seen how it has gotten us here.
Yeah. My
And
wife,
it's something we don't want to lose.
period. My wife never had to ask me to start coming down to the garage with her, even when she was in pharmaceutical sales, or even when you were in the restaurant. Whatever time you had to leave, I was up with you just to walk you out, just to let you know that, hey, you're not walking into this world alone. And we're not telling everybody you have to pray. This is something that we do for our lives that we feel makes it better for us.
Right.
I don't care if you just walk your wife or if the wife walks the husband down sometime. They walk just to kiss that person and tell them, hey, have a great day. I love you. Thank you for everything that you do. It makes the world of a difference.
Yeah.
And my wife would tell me, she's like, Joaquin, you just got off work this morning, 2 o'clock. You don't have to walk me out at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. Yes, I do. Because I want to. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a sacrifice that I think you have to intentionally make up in your heart and your mind as an individual to say I'm gonna do for my marriage. I'll tell people all the time, a lot of things I don't do just because it's Stacy. I do it because I want my marriage to be successful. Stacy is the person that is the receiver of my intentionality.
Right. I was about to say, but he does do it for Stacy, y'all. He do it because it's Stacy, okay? I do it because it's Joaquin, okay?
But I do it.
That's just real. I do it because it's you. Because of, I mean, there's reciprocity there, man, in everything that we do for each other. Like even in asking the questions, and I had to learn how to put my big girl panties on and walk into that season of when Joaquin and I would ask each other this specific question every week. And I had to brace myself. I had to be ready for the answer to that question when I said, okay, babe, here we go. How can I be a better wife? And I had to be ready for whatever it was my husband's truth was, whether I agreed with it or not.
And with that being said, husbands, don't be afraid to be truthful. Don't be afraid to be truthful. And I said husbands because most of the time women don't have a problem with being truthful because they literally are possibly lacking something that they need. And they tell the person. Sometimes we don't hear it because we think everything is providing, but they need that emotional part that we sometimes don't know how to give them. That's a good time for the man to say, okay, teach me how to do this for you. I didn't know that. My wife used to tell me I need you to be soft for me. I don't know what soft is.
Say the word I used to use. I did not use soft because I did not like that word.
You did not. You did not. You needed me to be, what did you used to say?
I need you to be my pillow.
My pillow. Yeah, you need me to be your pillow. I'm like, well, you not been on pillow? That's soft stuff. Guess what? I love being her pillow. I love being her pillow because my understanding of the definition of pillow wasn't what she needed. Me being her pillow did not put me in a position to lose anything about who I was as a man. It built me to be a better husband.
Yes.
That's what it did.
Yes. And there were times when Joaquin would be like, Stacey, I don't know how to be that, or I
Yeah.
don't know how to do that. So when he would pose the question to me, how can I be a better husband? And I would give him the answer. There were times when Joaquin would be like, okay, well, I need you to help me learn how to be that.
Now, there are two parts to this for it to be successful. One spouse has to be vulnerable enough to say that I don't know how to do that. The other spouse needs to be able to be mature enough to say, let me teach you.
Let me teach you, and be willing to teach without making that man or that woman feel less than.
Period. Because
Don't do
most of the
that.
times we hear, now, hey, if you're watching this, you have to be real with yourself. Most of the time, if a man tell a female that, they're tore down. They're tore down. You don't know how to, and it really starts with communication. If you don't know how to communicate what you need, look here, even my wife working in early child care and us raising 4 kids, one of the things she taught me is to ask the child, what do you need? Use your words. Don't give me an act. Use your words. And sometimes we don't use our words in the manner in which is detrimental for what we need in the moment.
Yeah. And
So
Joaquin used to tell me quite often, stop treating me like a kid, like one of them kids. Stop treating me like one of them kids. And I'm like, I'm not treating you like one of those kids, but sometimes I need you to communicate with me like that. And I also need to communicate with you like that so that we can have a clear understanding. Because I will tell you this, my husband is in the first grade.
period,
He ain't graduating.
period.
Because if I promote him from the first grade as his teacher, he gonna think he can teach the whole class.
I'm running the whole class. Period. She ain't lying. I am. Hey, I'm the professor now. I'm only in the second
Okay.
grade. And that's something I will share with you all. Men, I used to always tell my wife, stop talking to me as a kid because I felt she was challenging my masculinity. And all she was doing was trying to build me as her husband. And this is what I had to understand. God gave it to me one day. He was like, son, won't you just put yourself in a position to learn from her, to glean from her? And I went to my wife and told her, I said, from this point on, this is what, 17, 18 years ago?
Hmm. Well, I would say it was about 15, 16 years ago.
Okay, I give 14, 15. Okay, I ain't gonna give myself too many years. You're right, it was about 14, 15. It wasn't anything.
Right. It
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
early on.
I just thought about it.
He didn't say nothing to you.
Yeah, when there was
You
nothing
like,
to me.
like she can't teach me nothing. Like she can't teach me nothing.
I used to cringe when she would talk to me that way, but she was talking to me in simplistic terms. Most people don't want to hear that because they think they're being talked down to. No, they're really talking you up if you think about it. I told my wife from this point on, treat me as if I'm in the first grade, and I never want to graduate. I told my wife that. I said, because as your husband, I want to always put myself in a position to hear your words and learn from you. You have to be intentional with it. Now, do I like her teaching style sometimes?
Hey, do I like his learning style sometimes?
No, I do not.
I be like,
But as her student, I get to rub on her legs. I get to rub on her booty. And I get to bring her an apple or something like that for being a good teacher. And sometimes when I get in trouble, she get to spank me. And, yes. Yeah. So it works for us. So husbands, be okay with being in the first grade. You take that, use it how you want to.
right.
Teachers, don't take advantage of you. Well, no, you can't take advantage of that child, because he's your student.
You
You
can
know,
take advantage of your student, okay? Now, for me, it's a little bit different how Joaquin teaches me. Joaquin has to teach me from a collegiate level.
I got to be in college. You got to be a professor for this. You got to have the tassels and stuff for this joke ways.
I mean, his level of thinking is just so vast when it comes to marriage and life. And I don't think I was 18 when my biological father started teaching me how to cook. I mean, I didn't cook when I met Joaquin. So there was just a lot of things that I was like naive about. I was extremely green, even at the age of 28, 30. And though I had a lot of experience with life, I think there was a lot of selfishness. There was a lot of things that I just didn't want to take in from people who were trying to build me from a life perspective. I'm a bookworm. I love books. I love knowledge. But that type of knowledge, that common sense, that street, that baby, they would have chewed me up and spit me out.
Yeah, she didn't want to learn from people she thought was on her level or lower. People she looked down on. Peasants who are used to talk with tooth myth. You peasant.
Right. I wasn't surrounding myself by people who were smarter than me. I wanted to be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that that wasn't going to get me anywhere. That wasn't going to get me at the tables that I wanted to sit at.
This is the thing. You're right. You're right. Well, I think I said it the first week we all talked. You can learn from anybody. And I think sometimes a lot of individuals miss out on opportunity to learn because they think people don't know as much as they do.
Yes.
And this is true. If you work at NASA, I don't know much as you when it comes to talking about rockets and stuff that happens at NASA. But when you come over into my world, it's a good chance you don't know as much as I know about my world.
Mm-hmm.
So how about we learn from one another?
Yeah. And I wasn't willing to do that previously, but meeting Joaquin and learning a little bit more about myself and my relationship with Christ opened me up to a whole new level of understanding and clarity and wisdom. So when we speak with each other, like it's going to be different. The way that I approach and deliver to him and the way that he approaches and delivers with me.
Yeah. And it's funny that people can say, well, how is it that he's in the first grade and you collegiate? Man, we learn differently.
We learn
I
differently.
even in the military, I used to tell people, show me how to do it once. Tell me how to do it, show me how to do it once. I got it. That's how I learned. I'm good like that. And I'm not bragging. It's just you show me once, you may have to show me twice. It depends on the difficulty of the task. But you show me once, boom, I got it. You give me a visual and you can tell me, I got it. And then I need the affirmation. Now that's one thing that a lot of couples can get down. Affirm that person when they do something good. If the only time they hear your voice is when they are being ridiculed or torn down, that's not too healthy.
Yeah, they
I
not
can
gonna want to
receive
hear what's coming out of your mouth
Yeah,
too
I
often.
can receive Stacey's criticism when needed because she builds me up so much. If I'm being built up more than I'm being criticized, I can take the criticism a little better. And you have to be willing to. And my surprise birthday party, one thing my uncle told me, John, remember what John said? He said one thing about you. He said you can take it when you would get your butt chewed out.
Yeah.
He said not only could you take it when we would chew you out and we would have to come down on you, you would then turn around and say, okay, what should I have done?
And what should I do with this information you're giving me?
Period. I didn't take it. It didn't take it personal. Yeah, it hurt some of the things they said, but they're saying it because you done made a dumb decision, and they're not spending this time telling you what you did wrong just to spend that time with you. Learn from it. Most people get in their feelings, even in a marriage, they get in your feelings, and you go out and make a dumb decision that's going to jeopardize everything.
Yeah, yeah. And I think I mentioned it last week, like self-reflect, you know. I tell people all the time, taking in what your spouse is saying to you, just like food, just like you're taking in food. You take in the meat and the potatoes, everything else, spit it out. It doesn't apply. But what can you do with the information that you did digest? Is that information going to help you grow? Are you going to be able to see yourself differently? And are you willing to work to continue to see yourself differently? I mean, and that's what I needed. Like, I needed to see myself different, but I also needed somebody to help me understand like what that looked like. I needed to hear from a different perspective. I didn't have all the answers. I thought I did. I didn't.
And one thing my wife would tell you that as much as I wanted to make her happy, I wanted to make sure that our marriage was happy. And that meant sometimes I have to tell her some things that was gonna make her, I'm not gonna say make her feel bad, but the truth sometimes hurts.
It does, but I'm gonna tell y'all what Joaquin really, the reason I was able to receive from him so well after a while, because initially I wasn't able to. It was because of his delivery. Like, I'm
And
like,
my consistency, right?
no, I was fine with the consistency. It was the delivery all day, every day. I'm like, I'm gonna need you to bring that down a little bit.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what you used to tell me.
yeah,
That would make me laugh. What would you say to me that would make me laugh when I was getting a little too high strung?
calm down, Tiger. I hear your passion. I need you to calm down, Tiger.
I was like, this girl can't take nothing serious, boy.
I needed my
But
Tiger to calm down.
and I'm gonna tell you something. When she would say that, that's when I knew she was ready to receive what I was saying. It was just my delivery.
Yes.
If she came back into me when we first got married, and she would try to come back at me, combatively, it was like you ain't hearing what I'm saying. So when she would actually tell me, "Okay, I'm hearing what you're saying, but maybe just calm down some so I can receive it," that's when I
Yeah.
knew. I was like, "Okay, let me."
Because I wanted Joaquin to understand. Now, Joaquin is a communications major, right? That's what his bachelor's degree is in. And sometimes I was like, ain't no way you can make me believe you got a degree in communication. No way. If I did not walk through that senior year with him, where I would not think he had a degree in communication. Because I'm like, dude, you're doing this so wrong.
Well, one of the biggest things in communication is also being able to listen, and you were doing a horrible job at that. So it was frustrating me from my point of
We
delivery.
were just struggling. In the first 10 years. Well, no, within the first 7, 8 years of our marriage. Baby, it's not what you say.
No,
It's
you can say 10. You can say 10 because I still had to work on it at times,
yeah, it's
even with
like I'm like,
kids.
yeah, I'm like, babe, it's not what you say, it's how you say
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like I can take anything. Like I have tough skin. I do.
Go ahead.
As I've gotten older, I think as I've gotten older, I have become more sensitive. But anyway, I would have to tell him like, oh babe, look, you can say what you need to say, but I'm gonna need you to just say it differently. And he used to always tell me, he was like, Stacey, the way you say things, it's like, man, I just don't.
I don't know how to
In
do that.
everywhere I've ever worked, career I've ever been in, from education to hospitality to sales, I can talk. I have the gift of gab. But it's like, babe, you gonna have to. I don't want you to sugarcoat it. You don't have to sugarcoat it. Say what you mean and mean what you say.
You've
But
never asked me that.
I'm gonna need you what?
You've never had to ask me to sugarcoat anything. You know I don't.
No, I never had to ask you to sugarcoat it. I just wanted you to be a little bit more. you know.
Even down to our parenting. Me and one thing I would tell you is, man, we have to. Yes, we can rear our daughters, we can rear our sons, but at some point we have to start nurturing them as men as well. And my wife, she has helped me with that because I want my boys to be able to come to me and talk to me about anything. I did not have that open invitation from my parents, especially my father. My boys do. And I see the difference. But the difference started with my wife bringing it to my attention. And sometimes she would always tell me, she was like, Joaquin, I wish I could record you sometimes when you're talking to them and you don't think that you're yelling or you don't think that it sounds like you have attitude. And then when they would come down, they would look scared. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? Nothing. You were like, Joaquin, it's you. And I would get defensive like it is not.
Yeah.
Until, I used to pray. I was like, God, allow me to hear myself. Ooh, and he did. And the times I would hear myself, I would call my wife. I'd be like, baby, I heard myself talking to them. And this is one thing I learned how to do, to go upstairs or find my kids at the time and apologize. Hey, not sure how you heard me then, but I want to let you know that I'm not mad at you. I'm not upset with you. It wasn't anything to you. So everything's good. Let's talk. World of difference.
World of difference.
Because
Yes.
this is one thing that's established. They know daddy's daddy. They know daddy's daddy. And he's going to take care of his business. But they need to also know that daddy can be soft, vulnerable, and I can just talk without any repercussions.
There's balance. It's not always rah, rah, rah. And then none of the fatherly, that gentleness that a father can bring
Yeah.
to his children or be the example for his sons.
There's a B word that I believe every marriage needs to over exude. Not that B word. Balance. Balance is a word and balance is always changing. This is the example, and I know I'm gonna hear this somewhere. This is the example God gave me years ago. Matter of fact, we were like the first year we moved, like 2019, and I was riding downtown by this old park. I'm sitting at a stoplight, and I look over, and there's an old seesaw blowing in the wind. And it's just going kind of up and down, boom. And God said, "That's how marriage is. It's like a seesaw. Two people on one end, one end, and we're going up and down. Sometimes the husband is holding the wife up. Sometimes the wife is holding the husband up. Very rarely do we sit right here. But as we're balancing each other out, I don't believe in a 50-50 marriage.
Yep.
I don't.
Yeah.
Now, there's never been a point in our marriage where we've been 50-50, but we've always been 100% in.
Yes.
So if I'm giving 60% and she's giving 40, we're 100. If we're dealing with the issue that she's carrying 90% and I'm only carrying 10, well, let my 10 count.
Yeah. And because it's not going to always be that way.
Never always going to be that way.
You go through seasons where and you have to speak those things too. If you feel like you're in that season where you as a spouse is giving more, then talk to your spouse about what that looks like. Like, how long do we sit in this season? What do we do to get out of this season? And remember, you have the faith and believe what you're going to believe and write the vision and make it plain. But you also have to understand that faith without works is dead.
Dead.
Okay?
I'm going to say something else about that seesaw. Most times, when the woman or the man is holding that other person up for so long, that's a lot of time when burnout comes. Because it takes effort. It takes strength to hold that person up.
Yeah.
All the time. Look here. There have been times when my wife has been the breadwinner. I've been the breadwinner. There were times when things happened in our lives that affected the marriage, that my wife had to carry the family. And there have been times when I'm always the one carrying the family. But we're doing it because that's what we're called to do. My wife, those moments, one thing about my wife would never be able to say about me is my husband's lazy. Never. There was times she had to beg me to sit down somewhere.
Yeah. He procrastinated at times with certain things, but he ain't.
You had to put that in there, Dean, but go ahead. And that's true. That's true. Sometimes she procrastinated some stuff too. She need to get on
Yes,
top.
you are so right. You are so right.
But this ain't tit for tat. But anyway.
I was wondering if you was going to have to call that out on me. One or the other.
Well, but no, seriously, don't allow your spouse to be burnt out of some things. I hear people say it all the time, I shouldn't have to pay bills. I don't agree with that. Because sometimes people are not always going to be up. But can I depend on you? And can the marriage depend on you when the other person is down?
Yeah. The
And
marriage. I want you to think about how Joaquin just put that. Can the marriage depend on you
The marriage
when
depend
your
on you.
spouse is down?
One reason my wife can ask and enjoy some of the joys of life that she does now, because she's proven to me that the marriage can depend on her. And because she's proven that, hey, baby, I always tell you, if I'm good, you good. Do I always agree with some of the things she want? No. But I can never say that she doesn't deserve it if we're talking about what she brings to the marriage. Yeah.
Great conversation tonight, babe. Great conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like having you as a guest.
Well, don't get too used to it. I got things to do.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do.
Well, look here. Hey, thank you so much for being here this week, man. I look forward to you all taking this journey with us. Well, I'm sorry. I look forward to you taking this journey with me.
That's right.
And I look forward to us growing as individuals. I look forward to your questions. I look forward to your statements. And believe us, we have thick skin. There's not much you're going to say that's going to affect us or offend us. Say what you say, that's your opinion. But we thank you. I want to thank you in advance for taking this journey with me. This is the journey of breaking through the noise. I pray that the conversations we have, the guests that we have on here, will give you different insight and different perspective on life that will better your life, better the people around you, and better your future. So until next week, until next episode, and this is my beautiful guest, Stacy Loper. Thank you for being here again.
My
I'm your host.
pleasure.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it.
Now, so have I. I am your host, Joaquin Loper. And hey, breaking through the noise, back at another time. See you later. Peace.